But yeah, Rob Parker, you are the baseball guy. You love it. It's what you're about. And Rob, I gotta be honest, I can't help but think it's the dirtiest sport in America.
Why you
what
gotta
is
go
all
there?
the cheating?
Why you gotta go there?
I'm just saying.
Because two teams got busted?
In football, it's just, it's just the Patriots.
Okay. All right, what went down today?
I don't know if anything like this in basketball, but in baseball, all right, here's what happened, folks. The Houston Astros, both they got you'll say it's the death penalty. I won't say that.
Yeah,
but,
I think it is in baseball. When you take away draft picks, it's big.
So winners of the 2017 World Series, of course, their general manager, Jeff Luhnow, and manager A.J. Hinch were suspended for a year by the league after their investigation into the cheating scandal where they used technology to steal signs and so on and so forth.
And relay the players at the plate.
But then their owner, Jim Crane, fired Luhnow and A.J. Hinch. And Alex Cora, you think they got the death penalty? I really think he's getting it.
And you got to remember,
the manager for the Boston Red Sox left Houston, went to Boston, and apparently basically took his cheating that he learned in Houston. Or maybe he was the mastermind. Who knows in Houston? Because they didn't say it was Hinch. They just said Hinch should have been, as the person responsible, he knew the players were cheating and the coaches, and he didn't put a kibosh on it. But Cora went to the Red Sox, basically took the cheating there, and he's really in trouble.
They're waiting for him to complete the Boston
Red Sox investigation.
But on the 2018 season, and if you're a Dodger fan and you're not happy because you went to the World Series in 17 against Houston, lost, and 18 against the Red Sox, and both have been caught apparently cheating. They're doing the Red Sox investigation, and we'll find out. But Chris, I think Rob Manfred, the commissioner, did a good job. I really do. I've never been into taking away championships. They do it in college, take down the banners. We all saw it. You could say Reggie Bush didn't win the Heisman. I don't care. I saw Reggie Bush win the Heisman. So, you know what I mean? So, and everybody said, put an asterisk. There's not one asterisk in any record book. Stop saying that.
What? Mental asterisk.
No, but
you're right.
There's none.
And you shouldn't have asterisks in record books.
Exactly. So I'm not with that. I thought that they did $5 million, suspended the two guys for a year. Now, Chris, maybe the owner said to Major League Baseball, too, don't worry. You know what I mean? Whatever you give them, they're not going to be here. And that's why they didn't have to go lifetime ban. They knew that they were going to get fired and lose their jobs, which I think was the right thing to do by the owner of the Astros. You got to restore trust. And he's right. He claimed that they didn't start the cheating, but they didn't do anything about it. And it's organizational cheating. And I know Justin Verlander from Detroit. I covered him. He's very vocal when it comes to cheating and steroids. We have not heard a peep from Justin Verlander.
And he knew. I mean, he wasn't mentioned, but there's no way he doesn't know. There's no way half
the players know.
3/4 of your team knows, and you don't know.
Dugout. Everybody knows. There's no way. But we haven't heard anything. And all I'm saying is they had to do something to send the message they're not playing. They took away draft picks 2021, right? I think it's 2021. And 2022, is that it, or 20 and 21?
First round and second round picks in the next 2 years.
Next 2 years.
2020 and 2021.
Yeah, so that hurts an organization.
Here's
the suspension and then the $5 million fine, and we know money is no issue.
Right.
That's nothing for professional teams, but still.
I believe, Rob, that they should have vacated the titles.
Really?
And
that would have made you feel better, or are you going to misremember that they won the championship?
They still got They have championships, or a championship that let's keep it real, that there's a good chance you don't deserve. See, in college, when players are punished for cheating, it wasn't cheating during the game. It wasn't cheating at the sport. It was, you got money from a booster or whatever it is.
I understand.
But you still earned the championship or however far you went on the field, on the court. That's my thing. Like you mentioned the Dodgers kind of tongue-in-cheek, and we don't know what would have happened.
You don't know.
But I think we can say with confidence that the Astros cheated on the playing field and therefore didn't deserve that World Series ring. And if you take away the World Series ring, banners, just take it away, vacate it. Don't give it to the Dodgers. Don't give it to anybody else. Vacate it. There's no champion that year. I think that takes away any incentive to cheat from an organizational standpoint. Now, individual players, you still may want to cheat to get your contract, get big contract. But for an organization, if I'm not going to get to keep the World Series that we won, then why in the world would I allow cheating?
Here's the can of worms you open up. Here's the problem. Can people have a class action suit, Chris? You telling me that didn't count or whatever? Like fans wanting their money back? Like you told me. I'm just saying you open up.
I don't think you could. I don't think fans could go there.
Well, but you open up a can of worms. You also have, I think, the money from the money standpoint. The way say the NFL did it. This is why I'm okay with what baseball did. When they hit the Patriots, Bill Belichick didn't get suspended. He
should have.
And baseball suspended the general manager and the manager to say this won't be tolerated. I think that's awesome. We had talked about this, and I said anybody who knew was in management has to be suspended. This ain't no fine and just draft picks. You have to suspend the people who turned their heads and didn't do anything about it. That's what I love about what Fred Manfred did.
Rob Manfred. I agree that baseball came down hard. And I'm not, I'm not going to raise a saber and say, oh, you should have done more. You should have done more. In my opinion, though, I do think they should have taken the championships. The Houston Astros are still world champions. You cheated, and they're still world champions. Now, Verlander's a Hall of Famer anyway, but him going to Houston and resurrecting his career and pitching great there, now to some degree you erase that. And if they were cheating, you should. So
the manager, the owner was asked, Crane, was asked if their World Series was tainted. And of course, his answer was no.
Come on, how can it not be?
But I agree, and I think that's your punishment: is that people don't feel good. It's like the Patriots. It's like the Patriots. You could say, Chris, with all the winning and the two back end dynasties or whatever, 3 in a row and 3 out of 4, whatever it was. The thing that people still hold on to is everybody doesn't acknowledge or give the Patriots their due because they don't feel good about what went on.
Yeah,
so there's still a degree of that,
to a small degree. I mean, you're one of the guys out there beating the
I won't let it go.
But most people, I mean, you admit this, even though you don't think Brady's the GOAT, most people, wouldn't you say, that we see on television, that we see on radio, that we have on our show interviewing him, most people do think he and Belichick are the GOATs. Now they were never caught, in a Super Bowl year or winning a Super Bowl for cheating.
There was talk about it.
But let's say
Eric Dickerson.
Let's say they had been caught in one of those years. And, maybe Belichick gets suspended for a year or whatever, but they don't take away the title. You're still saying he and Brady have 6 rings. But if they you, as a guy that argues against the Patriots, if they took away 1 or 2 of those rings, now they only got 4 or 5. You have a much stronger argument against them when they only got 4 rings, 5 rings versus 6.
But we all watched, and
but we know again, the Astros cheated on the field.
But that doesn't.
It's different from the college kid who took money away from the field.
But the only problem is, even with or without, you don't know that the Dodgers were going to win or that.
Of course.
That's the problem.
But why risk? Why do something that risky? I mean, heck, two people lost their jobs and may lose their careers. That's another thing. Look, these jobs, there are 30 teams in Major League Baseball. Those jobs are a privilege. Let's keep it real, especially, Rob, we've talked about it, especially now that managers are really, in many cases, getting their directives from the front office.
Right, almost obsolete.
Right. So I say they blew that privilege. It should be a ban from being a manager. Yeah. Because they're gonna have some of their boys, some of their good old boys that they know in the league, hire them in a few years as consultants, as scouts. They'll get a cushy little job, make good money, and be fine. And they probably won't be a manager and a GM again. But I don't think they should be allowed to be managers and GMs again.
This was interesting. I got a text from a former Astro scout today. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read a little piece of it. Said a lot, and it was like kind of, I got this thing. It says it's kind of karma, honestly, about the Astros. And I was like, really? Karma? And he says a lot of the industry, working force, or scouts have probably hated and resented the Astros since their strategy of relying on technology and analytics heavily. When they let go of a lot of scouts, they made a lot of enemies letting go scouts in 2017. And this is when they instituted. Wow. Yeah, so this is real deep, like where they were. And it says also their strategy of tanking has changed the scope of free agency. So veterans lost money and jobs because teams value just rebuilding, like we saw in Miami with Derek Jeter's franchise, right? People are following that through the draft picks and are saving money for later. So there's a whole thing, and I thought that was interesting by the scout, that they made a lot of enemies, and then you could tell why. Like, okay, if you could go that route, Chris, if you kind of have an inside track on with the technology, and you know A.J. Hinch never made out a lineup because they had the analytics.
Right.
So what they were doing was totally different, but now you know kind of why, because they had an advantage. Yep. Right? And so now when you look at the Astros and how good they were in their organization, it don't feel as good anymore.
No, not at all.
But
it really wouldn't feel good without those titles.
Right.
Or that title.
That one title, think about it.
They're only one in history.
Right.
Did Major League Baseball get it right?
Sad
Do you
day for
agree with
baseball.
me that they should have vacated the 2017 World Series title? Let's start with Ryan in Washington. Ryan, you're on with Chris and Rob.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Doing great.
I think baseball messed it up. My opinion is, I got many different things I have to say about this, but number one, Pete Rose has been banned out of baseball for cheating or for gambling as a manager.
Right.
Still to this day is in the Hall of Fame as a player. And I mean, these guys were actually cheating in the game. I mean, it's also screwed up. You got players in the Hall of Fame that took steroids. Everything's kind of messed up in the different leagues these days. I mean,
no, Ryan, I don't disagree.
So
but
you think they should have taken the title, Ryan?
I think they should have taken the title, and I think all administrative personnel that knew about the cheating that they can prove should have a 1-year to a lifetime ban.
Well, they did that to the two top dogs, and they are looking into the other. But you got to remember, this is why the players don't get hurt as much the same way, because it's organizational. You know what I mean? And it comes down. So if the organization is cool with it, a manager and a general manager, it's hard. You tell a player, oh, no, I don't want what pitch is coming next. Who's going to turn that down, Chris? Nobody.
You can't.
Nobody's going to turn that down. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Let's go to Adam in Indianapolis.
Am I
Adam,
right? Nobody's going to.
You're on with the Odd Couple. No, you're right.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
What's up?
All right, just kind of going to feed right into what you just said about the players. I understand them not being suspended, but I definitely think that Altuve and Betts should have to lose their MVP awards. Because, I mean, they won MVP. What guy's not going to win it? Aaron Judge would have won MVP if he knew what pitch was coming every time. So with the vacating of the title,
you would take the MVP if you vacated the title.
Yeah, I think they should. I think they should have lost the World Series championships, and those two players should definitely lose their MVP championships.
Wow, I mean that would have been.
It makes sense though.
That would have been harsh.
Yeah,
but I get it.
Pitches are coming.
And you know what? The cheating part is hard.
That's a good point.
I'm not going to argue with the cheating if you want to go that far, but I think baseball did a good job, other than not taking. You know what I mean? Not taking away or vacating the championship. Joseph in Virginia, you're on the Odd Couple. Fox Sports Radio. What you got, Joseph?
Good evening, fellas. How are you?
Great, man. How are you?
Doing well. Fellas, I think they should have taken those championships because it's a little deeper than that, because you got to think about Clayton Kershaw's career. They damaged his career. The one chance he had, the bats behind him, they cheated.
That's a great point.
And I think that for them to go and do that, they have to take those championships just because he has this Peyton stigma, and let alone they lost Manny and they traded Poik. So, I mean, I think it did a lot more damage than
you know
than
what,
people may
Joseph?
realize.
That's a great point. I hadn't thought about that,
The
Rob.
other
but
other people
yeah, look
who are
at. I mean,
involved.
Kershaw, he's going down as a guy that can't get it done in the postseason.
And that home run is still going.
right. Nah, that's a great point. Think of the collateral damage.
And if you remember, in that playoffs, Kershaw, the Dodgers spotted him to a 4-run lead.
Yep.
Gave that up, Chris. They gave him 3 more runs, and then he gave that up. He gave up 7 runs, and his record, if I remember correctly, was 99-1 or 101 when he had spotted a 4-run lead or something. So
let's go to Rick in Fort Lauderdale. Rick, you on with Chris and Rob?
What's up, my brothers? How you doing?
good,
Great,
Rick.
man. How are you?
I'm doing great. I think Commissioner Manfred did a great job, but I think it could be stiffer. And Chris, I'm with you. They needed to be stripped. And you guys talked about collateral damage. How about the fact that in 2017 and 19, they beat my Yankees in the ALCS and in the playoffs?
And the Yankees
So-
were complaining. That's one thing. Like, they were on the record. They were complaining about the whistles and the noise.
Yep.
They complained about that.
Yep.
And you guys brought up two examples, and I'm gonna touch on that. Maybe if Commissioner Goodell had suspended Belichick or Belichick, like I like to call him, maybe we wouldn't have the other scandals. And isn't it funny how all of a sudden these last scandals have gone quietly? This is the longest investigation I've ever seen.
Yep.
And Rob, you brought up Reggie Bush. There's a difference. Reggie Bush did something to get him to go to USC.
It was off
He
the
didn't take
field.
a
Yeah,
performance
it's off the
enhancing.
field.
No, I get it. I get
it's a
yeah,
difference.
that's a good
There's
point.
a big difference. Darren in Charlotte, you're on with Chris and Rob.
Hey, man, how y'all guys doing?
Great,
Good.
man. How are you?
All right. I think Major League Baseball didn't get this right. I mean, I believe, what they should have did is also suspended the captains of the team. I mean, if the players would have came out and said, hey, we ain't doing that, then it wouldn't have happened. But the players was down with it, so they should also get penalties too.
I don't, Darren.
The captains aren't always the leaders, even though they got
Right.
the title. You know what I mean?
And the other thing, Darren, though, if it's organizational and they're doing it from upstairs, man, I'm telling you, that means that they're signing off on it. It's easier for players to buy into it. If this was the
that's your
players doing
authority
it
figure
right,
saying, "Hey, we can do this."
hey, here we go.
Some of the players, heck, might have thought it was okay.
Right.
I mean, really.
No, I
You know, a lot of these guys don't really know what's going on in terms of the league. You know what I mean? The
I
rules
agree.
and everything.
And that's why none of the players got suspended, because I think it has to come from management and leadership. If those guys didn't know it, Chris, and it was a couple of players, then they would have been suspended.
Right.
If it was a players thing. This is an organizational thing. Eric in Maine, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Eric?
Hey, what's up? Long-time listener, first-time caller. How you guys doing?
Hey,
Thank you,
great.
man. We appreciate the call.
you calling in, man.
All right, so I had to weigh in on this because I'm a absolute diehard Red Sox fan.
Right.
And all right, so you have Alex
Y'all in
Cora
trouble.
over with the Alex Cora over with the Astros.
Yep.
He's part of this. Apparently, from what I've been hearing, he's kind of like one of the ringleaders involved
Right.
in all this. He comes over to the Red Sox. The Red Sox throw up a historic year. Players are throwing up historic numbers, and now it comes out that the Red Sox are involved in something similar. So, as a diehard Red Sox fan, I am 110% okay if MLB drops the hammer on the Red Sox as well.
No,
Like,
Eric,
They're going
to,
Cora's
and-
going to get it worse.
and Cora's going to get double jeopardy.
Yep.
I totally agree. And you're right. That was the greatest Red Sox season ever.
Yep.
Go
Yep.
back and remember that. Here's a Trucker Don for you in Boston. Trucker Don, you're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports
You know
Radio.
what we want to hear first. All right,
Yeah, there we
it
go.
is.
Hey, Trucker Don, did you get what I mailed you or not?
I absolutely did. On your birthday, I got the hat that you sent me. Thank you very much. I
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Wear
And
it with
belated
pride.
happy birthday.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, belated happy birthday to you. Now, I tried to call in to thank you that night, and you and Chris were having a big debate about the
Big
Brady
argument.
and Belichick,
Right.
who's greater and who's responsible, and so on and so forth. And you know, I cannot do any more than thank Chris for giving every talking point I would have given you that night. He was amazing. So,
Oh, thank you, Trucker
I-
Don.
I even bestowed you with a new nickname. Do you
Uh-oh.
remember the nickname I gave to Rob Parker last week? And why?
Which
what
one
was
it? Yeah, the
The
gloat.
gloat.
The gloat, right.
The gloat.
Got lucky only after 10 because an earlier caller had said that he'd been predicting Tom
For 10
Brady's
years.
demise for 10 years.
Right.
And so I gave him the gloat. Well, now we could set you up with a nickname, and you could even have a theme song. We'll call you the Gloat Buster.
I like that. I like that.
Hey, Trucker Don.
I like that. That's great.
Yes, bro.
Trucker
Hey,
Don, you might have a future in this
I know.
business.
Real quick.
The Gloat Buster.
Cora's got to get the double hammer, doesn't he? With the Red Sox.
Oh, absolutely. And I agree with the last caller that said the Red Sox need to be punished. I wouldn't say equally, but damn close to what Houston got because, and I am a huge Red Sox fan. Ask me for my Bill Buckner story one of these days, and I got a great story from that. But, no, I agree with him totally that Cora, he's got to go. He has to go.
All right. Thanks, Trucker Don.
Yes.
What's happening, y'all? It's Chris Broussard.
I'm Rob Parker.
And we are
The Odd Couple. Check us out as often as you can on YouTube.
And always remember, I'm Oscar, and he's Felix.
Oh, man. Are you serious?